for me, I mean, like, because I'm a web developer and I use Vue.js, and I mean, like, Vue.js.
Bless you.
Vue.js is.
Maybe we should start this question from my notes because you dropped the ball there. So, I don't know.
Well, today we are in Google I/O Berlin, second Google I/O Connect, and we are in this fancy podcast recording session, very professional. Wasn't expecting it to be a video one, but yeah, let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
Hey, Henry, welcome back.
Thank you.
I think for Rojak Tech Podcast, it's been like almost a year of hiatus.
More than a year.
Yeah. But now we have good content coming, and good to see you again in person in Google I/O. I think last time we met also in Google I/O.
Yeah, we met at Google I/O Connect and in Amsterdam as well, and in DriveCon Berlin.
Yeah. So how's the experience like in here this year, which is in Berlin?
Yes, I mean, like, Berlin is an interesting place for me. I
Right.
live here for 1 year plus a bit,
All right.
but now I'm living in Hamburg, so it's good to back here.
You go back to
And
memory lane.
a bit, like, I do miss the public transport here.
Really?
Yeah, I heard all the chime in the bus. I was like, oh, I know this. This sounds so familiar.
All right.
We went for the I/O Connect in Amsterdam, and today in Berlin. Yes, we are recording live in Berlin. It's amazing. The weather is a weird one. Like, there's the forecast is saying there's heat wave.
Oh, there's
But
a football fever as well.
the football fever. The football match is happening at the same time. There's a rain and thunderstorm just now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. I guess Google I/O this year, everyone that people's talking about is about AI.
Yes, it's AI, and AI.
Have you ever incorporated AI into your workflow?
Yeah, I mean, I try to. I would say, like, my English is not the best. So as using, like, those LLM model.
Large language model,
Yes, those are incredible, like, useful for generating text.
All right.
So sometimes, like, I have, like, a piece of code, like, I want to write some documentation. Then it's very useful to use Gemini, or sometimes I use OpenAI, the ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So I use both to compare, like, which one is generate the best, and I choose from it. So basically, sometimes I write a few sentences of my documentation, but sometimes I feel like I'm not really happy about what I wrote.
Yeah.
So I use, like, ask the GPT that improve this for me.
All right.
And
But regarding about documentation, are you talking about documentation in the code base or kind of like refining the requirement?
both. I mean, like, I write documentation in the code, but we also use storybook, not to be confused with storyblog,
Yeah.
which is completely different. But yeah, we do write description for that, like, what is this function, or what is the purpose of these components. So with the help of AI or the LLM or GPT is very useful. But sometimes I also write some ticket on Jira.
All right.
I use Jira, unfortunately. Yeah, but I mean, like, sometimes we need some quite technical, quite long description. And sometimes I use, like, GPT to basically improve it a bit.
All right.
But I mean, like, all the idea, the point is still come from me.
Okay.
But I just use it to basically improve. So the person going to read the ticket is able to understand more easily.
But correct me if I'm wrong, ChatGPT doesn't have a plugin to any IDE yet, right? Like, for example, what IDE do you use?
I mean, I use VS Code.
All right.
But I do see one slide that's showing, like, Gemini on VS Code.
Yeah.
I haven't tried that yet. I'm not sure it's available in EU or not. But that looks promising. I mean, like,
Alright.
Google has the IDX. I mean, like, because IDX is cloud-based, I mean, it's still VS Code-like.
Yeah.
But because it's cloud-based, and for my case, my company is not allowed us to use it. So my company only allows us to use VS Code or IntelliJ.
I see. All right.
So
But-
IDX is not in the list.
But what's the security risk of having a cloud-based IDE?
Yes, I mean,
Or is just because it's still in beta, I think?
the main reason is more on security, because there could be some data transfer to Google,
All right.
which the company need to do some assessment on it
Okay.
to see is it a good idea to do it or not.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I think Gemini, if you look at it this year, especially where Google tried to incorporate a lot of them in their product. I think recently with Android Studio Koala, they have this autocomplete thing that helps you like turn it on by default, and then immediately you can enjoy what Gemini has to offer. Personally, I think it's still very early stage. I think sometimes it gets the context, but it doesn't get it exactly right. Sometimes you had to do a lot of manual adjusting.
Yeah, I mean, like as a web developer, I use Vue.js.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like looking at Android Studio and Google, I mean, it's the same company. So
Yep.
you get a lot of first party integration. You get Gemini directly into Android Studio, which Gemini knows Android documentation very well.
Yeah.
But for my case, I'm using Vue.js and VS Code, which is neither is coming from Google directly.
All right.
So the integration is not that good. That like sometimes it may miss some context, like or it doesn't know what is what.
All right.
So like recently, I've tried to fix a bug on my unit test, but because Gemini is not able to get all the context, and I would say like human intelligence is still smarter than AI in this case.
For now.
For now, I still have my job.
All right. I want to move on to another favorite topic, accessibility.
Oh,
Actually, I think on my last meetup back in Netherlands, how I realized there's actually a what do you call that? A EU mandate.
oh yes,
To
that's
be a
next year June.
Yep. So which means that all services and app has to have some level of accessibility in terms of images, icons, and for all of that.
Yeah, so you need to hit AA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think for web, it has a better framework already in terms of supporting accessibility. You have better tools for that.
Yes, I mean like DevTools check that for the case, but
Yeah.
accessibility is one of the tricky one because on the code itself, it can pass everything. Like,
Yep.
do you put the image description on your image? Yes, but is it a good description?
All right.
I can just put this is an image,
Yeah.
but does it bring anything useful to the people need the accessibility feature? No.
That's true, yeah, because I work at the company, we provide investment. So sometimes, like for example, we are introducing North America funds. And we have this very nice green image with North America content of it. And it's not worth the effort to describe that image, oh, it's green and North America, where there's more information, there's more important down there versus the image. And I think it's a fine line to walk between good accessibility and bad accessibility. Then I realized like Android has their own accessibility scanner right now.
Okay.
So it's like an overlay. So now you can easily check what's bad in your app immediately. And I think web is a tool for it, very popular too. I forgot what's the name of it.
Yes, but I mean like Chrome DevTools itself also has something called accessibility tree.
Yeah.
Instead of showing all the HTML DOM, it will just show everything, basically what screen reader is looking at.
Yeah.
So that's very useful, but I mean like that's the tool to see how is the output. But to make the output works is a tricky one.
All right.
And I would say like in this industry, we still need more expert in this to guiding us like, or basically all the web developer on how to improving it.
But you work in a bigger company. Do you dedicate resources for stuff like that?
I would say no. Our team are the one that leading the accessibility.
All right.
So we are actually learning a lot and trying to share the knowledge within across other teams.
Okay. Yeah, because the reason why I bring it up, because recently I tried to introduce accessibility on the Android lab, and then there's some low-hanging fruit, for example, on the navigation, there's a back button, and then you just very easy to say, go back. And then, for example, because I work in an investment app, so for example, like, this is how we calculate your returns. So here's the info button. So you try to give some context on the buttons.
Yes, I mean for us actually like those area label that's considered easy, but I mean like there's actually one tricky one.
All
It's
right.
actually color contrast. That sounds easier to fix, right? Like you have a button and the text, you have a blue color background with white color text.
All right.
It doesn't pass the color contrast.
All right.
So how are you going to fix it? You're going to adjust the blue color, right?
Yeah.
But because of the company branding,
I see.
you are not allowed to change it. So you need to get permission from marketing for branding.
Yeah.
But they say no, because this is our color, you are not allowed to use other color. So it kind of like chicken and egg, like, so what should we do?
But can't you do like a color-blind version of it?
Yes, but I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
If you do color blind, it pass.
Yeah.
But if you do color contrast, depends on which algorithm you use,
Okay.
it pass. Like if you use like there's the WCGA, it pass. But if you use the ACPA, then it doesn't pass.
All right.
So then there's a point you need to decide like which one should we focus? Should we fix it or should we need to change our branding color
Okay.
or how?
All right. Yeah. That's accessibility.
Tricky.
Tricky, right? Yeah.
Tricky, but yeah, I mean like it's good to see like in EU and in California there's American Accessibility Act, which is, to be honest, a lot of company, a lot of developers don't really care about accessibility, but with the law enforcing it, which is very good because we always think like accessibility is designed for people that need like they are colorblind.
Yeah.
But there could be some cases like me forgot wearing my glasses. Then I need accessibility. I want to make the font larger.
Alright.
So I will be able to read without my glasses.
Alright.
So accessibility doesn't mean you need to design those for people with disability.
Yeah.
But it's
discipline.
actually designed for everyone, including myself.
Yeah. I know we never met in JoyCon Bangkok. I forgot how long was that ago?
No, we never met.
We never met.
Never.
But I think it's like your company sponsored or something.
Yes.
Right? I think during that time, they actually talked about accessibility already for a very, I forgot what the name of the bank already, K Bank or something.
Yeah, K-Bank.
They were saying that they really, really make an effort to build that app where even normal people would enjoy using it, not necessarily just disabled people who require more assistance. I think the CEO was very proud that he said that even when I'm driving, I'd rather use the accessibility version of the app, checking your phone or something, versus the normal one. And yeah, I don't know. That's saying something, I suppose, about how intuitive the app is.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's one good example of accessibility, which I would say, like, no one actually noticed is part of the accessibility feature is the YouTube closed caption. So you're like, yeah, I can understand English perfectly. Why I need closed caption? Imagine you're in a subway and you forgot to bring your headphone.
Yeah.
And you do really want to watch the video.
Yeah.
That's the time closed caption is going to save your life. Without that, you're not able to watch anything.
Or do you notice that for the YouTube caption, there's one limitation?
No?
If you have multiple language in one video, it doesn't work, right?
It doesn't work. It could be very interesting, but hopefully with the AI stuff, it could fix it.
Or I don't know, multi-modal caption.
Yeah, I mean, like, iOS is improving that, like the iOS keyboard. They're going to support multiple language in one same keyboard. So if you can type English and suddenly switch to Chinese and suddenly switch back to English.
You mean iOS keyboard?
Yes, in iOS 18. So it's coming soon.
Say again?
The iOS keyboard on iOS 18. So they're going to support multiple languages.
I don't
Without
understand.
switching language.
I see.
Now we need to switch manually. Like, I need to tell the keyboard, I want to type in Chinese.
Yeah.
But in the future, in this fall, then without switching, they will know the context and they will automatically choose the correct language for you.
I see. Is it part of the Apple Intelligence thing? Or it's just...
Hopefully no, because you need iPhone 15 Pro for that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, that's also part of the accessibility because the AI, the Apple Intelligence doesn't work for other model of iPhone.
All right.
So that's a good thing for Google perspective. Like, they have the Gemini Nano that actually works on everywhere, including Google Chrome.
Yeah.
And it works locally. That's actually amazing because right now, most of the AI you need to run on the cloud, which is, if you have slow internet, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But with the
especially
Gemini,
today, when the Wi-Fi went down right now.
yes, yeah, the internet is not working. Even the 4G, 5G is very, very slow.
Yeah.
So yeah, with like local LLM, that could be even better.
Okay. So today you attended all the web sessions, right? So do you have any wish list that you felt like they should have included or give more love attention to?
Yes, maybe less AI. But yeah, I mean, AI is a big topic. Yes, everyone care about it. But still, there are a lot of cool features on CSS and JavaScript. But I still wish they have more time to talk about it. But I mean, like,
But how about the dev tools of it? I think there is some integration with Gemini into the dev tools, right?
yes, that's actually a big news today. So at launch at Google I/O in Mountain View.
Yeah.
So Gemini is now on Chrome DevTool, but it's only in US.
All right.
But today they just announced it's now available in EU,
See.
in
All right.
Europe. So basically everyone in the world can use it.
I can give an example.
So what the thing called is a console insight. So you have the console, or it will show error all the times.
Yeah.
But as a developer, you will be like, yes, this is an error, but now what? I could not understand what is this.
All right.
So they will use the Gemini basically to analyze it to tell you like, this is what went wrong, and this is how you can fix it.
I see.
So at launch, it's only limited to US, but now it's in Europe.
I think for Firebase Crashlytics already have some of that a couple of months ago, I think.
Yeah, but that's not useful for web developer.
All right.
Funny enough, Microsoft Edge has this feature, I think around the same time when Google launched it on Google Chrome.
You mean with
Microsoft
Copilot?
Edge. Yeah, with the Copilot, but
Alright.
that works in EU.
Okay.
But of course, with today, everything changed. So you can
Alright.
either use Edge or you use Google Chrome and you get the same feature but with different AI model.
All right. Anything interesting that you found today?
I do really enjoy the event.
Yeah.
It's a very nice venue. The environment is nice. The weather is interesting. It feel like Malaysia.
Well, it's sweaty and all that.
Yes, I'm wearing shorts. No long jeans for me. It's too hot. Yeah, the venue is nice. The people are amazing. The speaker lineup is the best.
Yeah, I think when you have events in Europe, where because it's easily travel between countries like Netherlands, Germany, Italy, Germany, and then because it's all part of the Schengen zone, and you get a different mix of people. We always met the people from SoundCloud, and he just easily come people from London. Where in Google I/O conference, it's always very American centric.
And actually, it's more than that. Like today, I think if I remember correctly, we have like 1,300 attendees, and there are actually some of them coming from Africa.
All right.
So which actually quite far away.
Yeah.
But of course, Google is doing this Google I/O in Mountain View,
Yeah.
now in Berlin. After this, they're going to India.
All right.
Then in August, they're going to Beijing in China.
Okay.
So they try to reach everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
All the developers, no matter you are basically kind of doing any product related to Google,
Yeah.
Google Maps, Android, web,
All right.
AI, cloud.
But yeah, actually, it got me thinking about attending Google I/O Connect and attending DroidCon. I feel there's a very big difference in terms of that. Do you feel any difference as well?
I mean, it's a similar, like I attended I/O in US, I/O in Europe,
DroidCon,
DroidCon and Chrome Dev Summit in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Environment is very different. Like for DroidCon and Chrome Dev Summit, I would say it's more like conference-like. But for Google I/O, it's more like festival.
All right.
So I mean, like the biggest difference, like if you compare I/O and DroidCon is a indoor conference.
Yeah.
They do it in the conference hall, but for Google I/O Connect and Google I/O Connect Berlin is in a factory thing.
Always a factory.
Yeah, it's always a factory. I think it's like oat milk factory or what.
I think this is an oatmeal factory. Last year was a sugar factory.
Yes, so the next year will be
It's all dessert related.
yes,
factories.
It's going to be sweet. So maybe next year honey factory.
Oh yeah.
Then we get honey as well.
So in Spain,
Maybe.
well, I think almost time.
Yes.
So any closing thoughts?
Well, it's happy to be here.
All right.
I mean, it's happy to be back in Berlin, happy to meet everyone, meeting you and meeting all the Googler at the communities. I would say making human connection in person.
Yeah.
That's something like I miss so much during the COVID,
Oh,
during the pandemic.
nice.
Face-to-face conversation is
Right.
the best.
Nice. Yeah, I think personally for me, because I work in a small company, like for example, 2 years ago when we met, I said that, I never really tried Compose before. And then now, where Compose is playing a bigger part in the code base, now, how to say, you did things, but you don't have people to validate whether you're doing correct. I think with now, Compose being more mature than all that, just now I heard like there's a group Q&A session. Do you notice? One feedback I have to give is that it's a bit difficult to hear people. Like everyone's sitting around, and then there's people like music, people beside is very difficult to hear. But there is a lot of interesting feedback and arguments on
Yes.
people's experience on
Yeah, but also one key takeaway from what I learned today is if you're using if you're Android developer, if you're using any Chrome API, if you have any idea, you found any bug, please feedback.
Yeah.
You either go for the bug tracker, go on social media,
Yeah.
let them know. If there's a discussion on GitHub, +1 it.
Yeah.
So the team can know it well, it will improve it. And that's basically the best way for them to improve.
All
They
right.
always listen from us, from the community.
Yeah.
So I mean, we also play an important role.
Yeah.
So what we do also impact what we build in the future.
Yeah. I felt like Google, compared to Apple, Google has a lot of emphasis on building a platform where it's more developer-centric, where Apple is always more product-centric, right?
Yes, I mean, if you look
notice?
at the WWDC and
Yeah.
Google I/O, it's very big difference.
All right.
So
Okay.
I mean, it's glad to be at Google community.
All right. I think that's it for time.
It's time to say goodbye.
Time to say goodbye. If you want to hear more from Rojak Tech Podcast, please go to x.com. And I'd like to thank Henry and his time. Surprised that today you didn't talk a lot.
Time limitation.
Then, I'll see you guys around. Hope to chat soon again, Henry. Thanks for coming again.
Bye bye.